Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Milligan. I am here to explain to you the thermal energy transfer unit. And this would be awesome. If you try any of the experiments, make sure that you ask your family. I won't show any of to you right now, although I wish that I could. But I want you to pay attention to some of the pictures here. We have radiation as an effect, and then the convection and the conduction as more of a cause. So please pay attention to these three most important pieces of information. This is going to help you when you are going through your vocabulary. So conduction, that is the transfer of the thermal energy that occurs in solids, liquids, and gases when two substances of different temperatures touch. So conduction is about the touch. It's about material on material. Radiation is the transfer of energy by the movement of electromagnetic waves or subatomic particles. So radiation happens a lot, as you would think, with anything requiring heat. So it's an electronic that has heat. Maybe it's the sun that has heat. Anything that has radiant energy is a radiation. So if you look back up here in this picture, we had radiation happening from the fire. Convection is the heat transfer caused by the rising of hotter, less dense fluids and by the falling of cooler, denser fluids. So we will get to convection later as we go through. This information is about heat. And then the most important thing that we need to know in this article is that energy is never created and never destroyed. It simply just changes form. So that is called the law of conservation of energy. In this assignment, you will be encouraged to try some things out or simply think about them. But we're going to look at the three main processes again. So we have radiation, as we feel the sun shining on us or when we sit by a fire. Convection, that's when we use an oven to eat cold food. Or conduction, when it's material on material, like the stove can burn you if you touch it. So we're going to learn how they're the same and perhaps how they're different. The one we didn't talk about much was convection, so I'm going to hit on this one now. Many kitchen stoves have hood several feet above the burners. So the purpose of the hood is to carry the smoke and other fumes away from the stovetop because hot air rises. So the third type of heat transfer is called convection. So convection, the particles themselves are moving. This only happens in liquids and gases because the particles in solids are stuck in place and they can't move. So particles that move more quickly are hotter. And as hot particles move into a new area, they increase the area's thermal energy. So that makes the area hotter as well. So this is a little bit about convection. It's like the movement of the current of that sea breeze and the land breeze. And if you do have an oven, there might be a button that says convection. So in an oven, the convection process is happening. There's a convection cycle because it deals with a lot of motion, with rising, sinking, losing energy, and with cold particles mixing with the warm particles. Okay. It's always important to see how the direction is flowing from the hot to the cold. Here are some questions that you're going to have to answer in your assignment today. Heat is carried away from all the pots in all directions. This shows. You actually have to label A, B, C. One is radiation, one is convection, one is conduction. So make sure that you kind of understand one of them is material on material. One of them is that air moving. And one of them is that direct flame. So this is a backside of a refrigerator. I thought that would be a really cool experiment to do to explore the compressor at the bottom of the fridge. So this is some information on that with that heating and cooling mechanism, and that's a real world connection of thermal energy transfer. Then there's some other things on the what do you think is the best insulator. So we've got a soft bag, we've got a lightweight plastic box, we've got a paper bag or a mini ice chest. I want you to think about which one would be the best one to keep your food cold or at least maybe keep it